Oh man, so cool to get it right. Once again, the air drumming. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. My name is Chase Steele Gray. If you've never been here before, welcome to our magic wonderland of higher thought, love, compassion, information, laughing, crying. We never know what's going to happen here. This is a day called Wednesday. I'm coming to you from New York City, and it is Health and Wellness Wednesdays, where we talk about things that have to do with health, things that have to do with wellness, our bodies, our breathing, our meditation, all the things that we hope will just give us a better existence here on the earth, just to be healthier in general. Feels really fresh and cool out here today, so my energy is really up and high. I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are here 5 days a week. It's not just Health and Wellness Wednesdays. We have a topic every day. I forget to say that sometimes in the beginning of the program, so I want to make sure that you come here any day of the week, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 a.m. We would love to have you here. So today, our topic is creating solid friendships for better health and wellness. Now, you might be saying to yourself, how am I going to tell you how to create a solid friendship? I'm not. I'm here to highlight some of the most incredible, or I should say, the most incredible friendship that I've ever had. And I want you to take some snippets from this if you could. My great friend, Kathleen Grifunder, and I have known each other since 1990. I'm going to go with 90. And
30 over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
30,
think about that.
33, 34, right?
Something like that, right?
Yep.
And yes, this is Kathleen Grifunder. She is a holistic counselor. She is bilingual, trilingual, yes.
Something like that.
She is of partial German descent. She is a dancer. She is a connector. She's a crafter. She does lots and lots of things. And since we've known each other, the things keep piling up, right? So, Kathleen, you know about our friendship and how I speak about it and how it's this connective tissue, if you will, that has never separated. And when I was in when I was in Boston, when we met, I just can't believe we were both like 18, 19. It's amazing. It really is, for someone to have known me that long. And there's only a few people in my life that have known me a little longer than you, maybe since I'm like 14 or 15. But I dropped out from those people, then caught up, then dropped out, then dropped out. But we've been friends the entire time. Yeah. And I mean, everywhere. Boston, Florida, Texas, Atlanta, Italy, France, Germany, Greece, like everywhere I've been, this person in front of me has been close to me. And so what I want to ask you is, what do you think, if you had to pick one or two things that a solid friendship needs to have, or why you think we've been friends for so long, what do you come up with? I just think it's such a fascinating thing. How do you feel about it? La la.
La la. The first thing I have to say about being here and about you inviting me to be here today, there are very few people for whom, and very few reasons for which, I would be up
I knew you were going to say that.
In the day.
Right. I feel that. I feel that.
I think the thing, since we met, and I was 19 when we met, so you would have been 20.
20. Okay.
Right?
No, because I just went to college. I left high school 18, 19. So I had to be 19 unless I didn't meet you for the first year.
Yeah, right.
So let's say 19, yes.
Yeah. Well, I was 19, but anyway, doesn't matter.
We'll
doesn't
go back
matter.
to that.
But I'm just trying to clock it, right? Because it's 3 decades plus. So um since we met, I there was an obvious connection. Like it was it's could have seemed like a coincidence, but it was
Yeah,
um not
totally not.
not a coincidence that
Right.
we met and that we connected when we did and how we did. But um there has always, since that first moment of meeting, been a great deal of respect,
Hmm.
a great deal of
Hmm.
communication, um, just truth and heart honesty. And we've had our difficult moments over the years too, where things got a little rocky, but even in
Very
those
few.
moments,
Very few. I'm just saying.
very few, but even in those moments, there was that amount of respect and communication um that got us through that and
Right.
kept our friendship going for this many years.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, as we sit here and talk about this, it's interesting because the path of our lives have gone in so many different directions,
Yeah.
speaking about family, girlfriends, boyfriends, breakups, meetings, whatever we've spoken about over all the years. And, one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation is because I think we meet great people all the time in our lives. And as my dad would say, when you meet somebody, they're a movie already in progress. You don't know where they're at when you meet them.
Hmm.
And I didn't know where you were when I met you, but at the same time, there was this aura of, I think that's the person you need to talk to. I was like, okay, I'll talk to. Kathy didn't mention that we both worked for the same company, but in different divisions or different. Um, what would you call it? What's the word I'm trying to use?
Different stores under
Different
the same umbrella.
stores under the same umbrella. She was
Yeah.
in the more upscale clothing, and I was in the more general, like it was merry-go-round and signal. And I love clothes. Everyone knows that. And Kathy loves clothes. Everyone knows that. So that was a great connector.
Yeah.
And music. We were connected because of Prince. That was just like, wow. I had just been inspired by Prince not too long ago before I met you, maybe a year before I met you, or not. No, it was more than a year before you. I was inspired by Prince a few years before, but it hit me. I'm going to music college. This is awesome. And
Yeah.
then when I met you and you were liking Prince too, I was like, oh my God, you like Prince? You're like, what? And I was like, okay. So that was cool. And, the other thing is that I'm attracted to sharp minds, right? Male or female, right? Someone who can think, someone who can put things together, someone who can create from nothing, someone who may say a word or two that I don't know, because I know a lot of words. And you used to say some stuff that I was like, what did she just say? You
I
said like a
remember
word or
you.
something, and I'm like, what is
I
that word?
remember you. Um, and you will say this to me occasionally, even now, that um, when we were first getting to know each other, you were you told me that you said to yourself, "Oh God,
Crazy.
please don't let her be stupid. Don't let her be stupid."
Please don't let her be stupid. How was I even thinking that way at
You
19?
maybe you even said, "Just let her be smart,"
Just
something
let her
like.
be smart. Let her be smart, please.
But
Please.
but that that was and that always has been, and in our friendship and in the other long time friendships that I've had, that level of communication, that level of intellect, where we match, where
Mm.
we um I mean, you and I have had some epic conversations.
Epic.
And last time I was a guest, we talked about this a little bit too, that we I mean, we start out talking about, "Hey, how was your day?" And then 5 hours later, they're like
Oh.
solving all the problems in the world, right? Um, in our own minds, or maybe more than that. But there has always been that place of communication and intellect and interest and the 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 points of life, even if we don't agree, the ability to talk through them and see new perspectives and um and ways of looking at the world that we might not have thought about before.
Right, right. And I was thinking just now about one of these words that you said to me. God, what was it? What was the word? It starts with an F. Fleur, fla, fl, ah, it's not coming to me right now. I'm going to come to it. You said some word like a couple months ago, and I was like, I'm done. That's it. That's the last word I can take.
I think it was a word that I made up, actually.
It was not like kerfuffle. It was like, it'll come to me. Anyway,
It'll come to me.
something that you might not know, which is interesting after 30 something years, is I think one of the major things, or the major points about being a good friend to somebody, is listening. And
Yeah.
I practice my listening specifically on you. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, thank you.
Because because we have so many. Oh, the word is fecund. Is it fecundo? Fecund? Isn't there a word for fecund or for?
I'm trying to remember
goodness. Anyway, it's just the words are crazy. Anyway,
yeah.
So when I talk to you, fecundity. Thank you, Dr. Monica Ogando, Atlanta. Fecundity.
Could be.
It's not fecundity, but it's fecund. That's it. Fecund. Fecund. Fecund.
Yeah.
You said that word one day, and I have never heard that word in all the years on Earth. So
I
was
you
like,
know what? Okay, now
I don't know why you said that word. And I was like, oh, okay, well, put a pin in that for a second. Anyway, I just want to make sure we knew that word.
Yep, thank you.
And when I'm talking to you, I should have made a list of all of them. Actually, I have written some of them down because I'm a writer. I have my book with me right now. No lie, I always have it with me. Always have it with me. Always. So, when I talk to you, there's so many things we're talking about all the time. And I'm like one of those little puppies that wants to get into the dog park. You're like, okay, buddy, okay, we're almost there. And it's like, I gotta get in. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when I'm talking to you sometimes. And I'm like, okay, just listen, just relax, just let her talk. And then by the time you talk, I've lost 5 things. I can only talk about what is in the front of my mind. And, the listening, you said something to me a couple times, and I'm going to say this for the men on the huddle today. I don't know what it was. We were talking about something very sensitive, and you were crying or I was crying. This was years ago. And you said to me, and I've heard this from other people, Chase, I'm calling to talk to you. I don't want you to solve this. And I was like,
right.
Okay. I was just, I know I just want you to listen. And it's so funny because I know a lot of women say that to men, and I know my team members need help in that area. I know. It's just when you really, really care about somebody and they've been your friend for a long time, you're like, look at my solutions. Let me show you. I know. And then they're like, no, that's not it right now. And you're like, okay. And I think I've learned from you more than any other person on the earth, because I think I'm the best I've ever been at it right now. Sometimes when I talk to you, I listen for a long time, and those 20 lizard brain freaking thoughts want to come out. And I'm like, just relax. Just don't say anything. Don't say anything. And a couple times you've said, are you there? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to listen. And I remember not being good at that before. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you. Thanks for paying attention. I mean, seriously, um, I think it's a little bit it's a little bit different for men
Yeah.
just because the tendency for men is to want to fix things.
Solve the problem.
Yeah. And um that's a very very basic way to describe that difference between the male and the female persons, but the tendency for anybody that is a heart-centered person is to want to offer advice or help or to try to to um to fix a problem when we see somebody that is struggling with something.
Right.
So um in one of the many uh areas of study that I practice and do and help people out with, what I have had to learn too is if somebody's not asking, they're not asking.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And you can be coming from the most genuine, best place in the world. And you're absolutely right. Sometimes people just need to be heard. And given the space to be heard, it's more likely that they will ask for that piece of advice that you so dearly want to give them. But I mean, you and I have gone back and forth like that. I don't know how many times over
So many times.
our friendship where I'm like, well, wait a second, you gotta do this and you gotta do this, and if she's saying this, then you gotta, and you didn't ask. You didn't ask.
Yeah. That's
But but we have, because we've had the communication that we've had over the years too, we can actually say that to each other. And I think that's the other piece to why our friendship has endured this long, because we can actually talk to each other and say, okay, stop talking or start talking, or just
yeah.
I didn't ask for a solution here, but I really need to talk it out, and I'll
You-
I'll tell you when I want your input, and you've said that to me on many occasions too.
yeah. I just got like in a glitch amount of thoughts that just hit each other all at one time. It's funny. I saw Dr. Monica Agano's name come up a second ago, and it's funny how your brain goes back into the hard drive. I remember another presentation she did where she said one of the great things to do for a good friend or somebody that you care about is say, "I would you allow me to give you my perspective? Is that okay if I tell you how I feel? Are you open to that?" And I thought
Yeah.
that was really great advice. So thank you, Dr. Monica Ogano, for that. You know, the thing is, man, when we have this kind of conversation about friendship and this and that, I think one of my best traits as a friend is I want to highlight the power part of the person that I care about. I'm like, yeah, but you can do that. Yeah, but what are you talking about? You can do this and that and this and this. You can do this and this and this. And I just want to like flood them with all the good parts because I think that we live in a world where people are saying, you can't do that. No one's done that. Well, that's going to be hard. Oh, that's going to be expensive. You know what? You might want to consult. That sounds very dangerous. I hear that all the time from people. And I'm like, what if it works? What if you can do it? What if you're the only person that shows up to that thing and they give it to you? Like, that's how my mind works. And I find that not specifically with you, but with some of my friends, they're like, man, I don't know where you came from, Chase. I don't know how you see this stuff so
Yeah.
good all the time. I just see it as a piece of crap. And you calling me to da 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 da. The other day, my friend Michael that used to live with Irene, he said, and I quote, you know what? When I lived in New York, everything was so great. And now I just feel like I'm at the end. My life is over. I have nothing to live for. And I went, woo. And
Yeah.
I just, and something went click in my head. And I started talking. And he goes, I knew you would say something positive after I said that. And I go, okay, well, so what's the problem? So with you and I, when we talk, there's been many times when you said some stuff that I thought was crazy outside of the box of reality of who you are. And I was like, why would you say that? That's totally not true. You could, and I rattled off some stuff. Again, you didn't ask. I just said it, and I felt like I was coming from a place of compassion, like I'm here. Let's do this. Let's lift this together. And so that's something that I work on. And I'm glad that you said that in the way that you said it. Um, I
Well,
also feel
I'm sorry to interrupt you,
no, no
but
problem.
that's the I think that is also part of the, I was going to say fabric, but more like the tapestry of our friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I see some Rashida, um
Rashida.
Henry's, but the part of that tapestry is um is exactly that, where there have been times where I have been low and times where I've been high and everything in between as life goes. And you are, since I've known you, you are always looking at things in a positive perspective, even when things in your life were lower, like that, when things have been challenging. And so um I think there's a way that we balance each other out that way as well, like where I can see when things are challenging for you and you're really needing to talk things out or you're going through something, um where where I can be the positive influence for you and vice versa. If things are not going well for me and you help me see another positive perspective, and I know that you in general do that for people whose paths you come across.
That's my training. You know my
Well,
dad. You know about my
yeah,
mom. That's where I come from.
yeah,
That's how they
yeah,
talk to me. You know.
right. And not everybody can pull themselves out of that, and so I know that in your deepest heartfelt moments where you want to help somebody see something in a different light, you offer that perspective. And um and sometimes it's the listening that offers that perspective, because people don't really expect that people are listening, let alone hearing them.
That's that part right there. They're like, "What are you doing? Who are you? You're like a Martian right now. You listening to me?" It's such a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get Rashida. I want Rashida to come on in here as the time takes us down the
Yeah,
rabbit
I know
hole
we're it's I mean, we could sit here and talk for 5 hours.
for
So
5 hours. We've done it. Rashida.
yeah. Yeah. Hi, Rashida.
Catherine, I am
Hi.
so happy for the topic. And trust me, I am so grateful to be here this morning. And why I say that is because Chase and I met each other, what, 11 years ago? And trust me, it's been a awesome relationship.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
that
can
long ago,
it
really?
was.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
awesome relationship in because I can cry on his shoulder and he can cry on mine. And we
Yeah.
are such a good listener. But first of all, I will say we have to be our best friend before we can be friends to anybody else.
That's true.
Yeah.
And When I met,
That's a great point.
it was like so magic. We were like, where you been? I miss you. Where you been? And he says, we are just brothers from Aramata. And it was just magic. Magic. There
We
was
met in a
no in
supermarket.
between.
We met in a supermarket in an aisle. Think about
Oh
that.
my God. I remember the story now. I remember it now. Wow.
How you meet somebody in a
Oh,
supermarket next to yogurts?
we are fun until today, 11 years later, and we still like have 100 years more to go. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the topic. Thank you.
Oh my God. Do
Thank you,
not make
Rashida.
me cry on this huddle.
It could happen.
Nope.
It could
I'm gonna. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, does anyone else have a comment? I feel like I missed the hands. Oh no, I don't. I see them now.
I didn't see any other hands, but I don't think I have the power to see all the hands.
Yeah, I see it right now. So, again, I believe that we're here today because I just wanted to show people a certain level of synergy between people. And I believe there's someone on this huddle that is struggling to maintain friendships in general, feeling like they're not good enough to be a good friend. As Rashida said, you have to be a good friend to yourself before you can be a friend to other people. And
Yeah.
and I think that we all deserve and should have levels of friendship, because there's not just one kind of friend. You got friends at work, you have friends that live in your neighborhood, you have friends of your cousins, mothers, friends, and they're all at different levels, and everybody can't be at the same level. But I also believe that as human beings, we have to concentrate on is a concept that I have. I don't know if I've created this on my own or whatever, but if I've heard it and created it from somewhere else. But one of my concepts is be careful what you leave in the room when you walk away. And I learned that from my dad, because when my dad left the room, both of my dads and my mom, actually all three of them, when they leave the room, people, they act a certain way and they're not even there anymore. And I bring my mom's name up or my dad's name up or my bonus father's name up, and they go, "Oh, that's your father? Oh man, it's a great dude." Like, "Oh, Beverly's your mother? Oh, that's my girl." And I'm like, like that's what I saw when I was younger. And I think you do that a lot when you go places, because we're poppy and we're talking, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how long you work there? Hey, it's a great hat. You smell good." Like whatever. And we engage with people, and I think people want to be engaged with, but for the most part, they're not. People don't think that they're seen in the world. So if you have a friend that sees you, it's magic, because they see you. They really see you. You know what I mean? Especially in New York. There's millions of people walking around, right? I see them. I walk down the street. If you could put a camera in my head and see out my eyes, I'm like this. I'm looking at everybody because I think it's so fascinating, right? But again, everybody can't be your best friend, and everybody can't do what you can do, Kathy, because we've done it. We've proven through the test of time that people can really concentrate on each other respectfully, be kind. You and I haven't been in the same city in I don't know how many years, but no matter how we go, where we go, we make sure that we stay in contact. By the way, everybody, Kathy's in Wisconsin. So, it's just crazy. I love it.
The going back to the beginning of the conversation, how many different places we've both lived.
Oh my gosh.
And before the smartphones and before the internet was really a thing, and all of the reasons that we could have lost touch.
All of the reasons, correct.
We never did. And it's such an old saying and cliche, I guess, but people come into your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime.
Right.
Sometimes it's all of those, sometimes it's one or the other. And I was just out of high school when we met. You were
So
too,
was I. Yep.
basically.
Came to Boston for the first time ever.
Right. And And I have some high school friendships that are still, shall we say, active, but there are people who have been friends for decades in my life that have fallen off
Yeah.
at some point or another. And that's why I'm bringing that up, because after 30 plus years, you and I have always found a way
Mhm.
to stay in touch no matter what country we were in. You were on a cruise ship for how many years and we still managed to
3.
talk?
Yeah.
So we found a way, and I think that is the most important thing too. Even if friendships fall off,
Right.
even if the season has passed, or if a person has passed, I mean, let's face it, we've
Yeah.
lost
We've
people along
both
the
lost
way,
people. Yeah,
right?
it's true.
But even if that's the case, the um the intention and the love and the heart all come together, and you find a way. I
Right.
mean, I've had friendship breakups, right? I know that you have too.
Hmm.
Probably just about everybody on this call has, where it's like, oh, okay, doesn't make sense for us to hang out anymore. Or maybe somebody just fades away and whatever it is. That hasn't happened with us, and I don't expect that it ever will. But it's there are cycles to every relationship. There are cycles to every part of our lives, and it's also important to remember that and respect the cycles of the people that you're engaged with, however the
Correct.
cycle,
Correct.
right?
Well, time has had his way with us once again. That's
Once
just how it
again.
goes. I will always bring you back again because we always have more stuff to talk about. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
You
thanks for
know,
inviting me.
we just, I love our friendship, and I can say so much about it. And we're gonna revisit some other topics in the future. But thanks for coming here. And as always, to everyone else, we end with our tenets, because these tenets are what keep us buoyant in this crazy world that we're living in. Of
Yeah.
course, love harder than you've loved before. Of course, please, please move your body every day in one way or another. Walk, run, bike, roll around the grass, whatever you need to do, right? Give of yourself, give of your time, give of your extra things. Get that stuff out of storage. Sorry, that just slipped out because my mind is talking to me. Um, eat, wow, eat mostly plant-based, because that's the stuff that really your body has the least effort to digest, which keeps you lighter, keeps your mind lighter, keeps your body flowing. Um, laugh some more, people. Just go into YouTube and find something to laugh about. There's 8 billion comedians. It's not that serious in this life. We got to take things a little lighter because we're killing ourselves from the inside out, making things so serious. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? Right? Also, please just get some more sleep, right? If you're only getting 4 hours of sleep now, please don't do that anymore. Sleep 5, 6, 7. Go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Get up at 6, read a book, meditate, breathe deeply, allow yourself to be grateful for all the things that you have around you. And also stress less, because stress is what kills us from the inside out. I believe it's the highest, the highest number of people who are disease stricken are because of stress. Stress started most of these diseases. As we talk about people who have cancer, and oh my gosh, this cancer word. If we're happier and we treat our bodies better, I'm telling you, we can be better. We can be better. And lastly, you know what it is. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check in. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Peace.
One love.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Kathleen.
Cheers.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.